Hello and welcome to Prime News. Now a look at the headlines. Football provides safe ground to coach Maymol Rocky and young Goan players. Ashika Gadekar recounts scary moments in Nepal. Tremors still shake Nepal. Over 3,700 dead in Nepal earthquake, 6,500 injured, 72 die in India, death count to rise further. Goa needs to get hefty compensation from United Nations for declaring Western Ghats as biodiversity hotspot. AG pegs compensation at $1 billion. Sources say expert committee recommends 35 million tons of capping for Goan mining, submits its report to Supreme Court. And SAG increases grants to boost sports activities in Goa, decides to streamline staff, special committee to decide on infrastructure rent and evaluate coach performance. Now the news in detail. It is not uncommon for sports lovers to associate their life with their favorite sport discipline and claim that football or cricket is their life. But it is rare to see that people have survived a natural calamity due to a scheduled football match. Saturday's devastating earthquake in Nepal could have hurt Goan coach Maymol Rocky and 3 other state players in the Indian football team had they not been at the football ground for their match. This is a story of how football turned out to be the savior for Maymol and national under-14 girls team.
This is a story of horror Saturday in Nepal, where India under-14 girls team was participating in the AFC regional football tournament. Dreams of dazzling at the continental stage soon turned out into tears of fear as the earth opened up. The earthquake shook Kathmandu and killed thousands of people. But luck was on the side of these young footballers who were at the Dashrath Stadium as they managed to beat the natural calamity and return safely to their homes thanks to football. On her arrival at the airport on Monday morning, Dabore-based coach Maymol Rocky reveals the terrible times the team had to face.
All ran to the field and all the players were in the field for more than 5.5 hours. I think that was the safest place to be there inside the football field. And the stadium gates, everything, it was broken, the stadium was cracked and we had a tough time. Children were scared, even we were scared, but we could not show the players that we were scared. But overall, it was a bad day for us that day. But again, then 5:30 we went to the hotel. We were there in the hotel, but the rooms where we were staying, all was cracked and lights were not there. So finally, we had to stay out of the hotel on the in the compound of the hotel. It was very scary night. The hotel provided us good blankets, mattresses, everything, and we were outside the hotel maybe for the whole night.
Ashika Gadekar was one of the players in the India team. The Anjuna-based girl was shaken to the core. Her parents were obviously worried. Trying to bring her thoughts back to normalcy, Ashika says she could have never imagined to see something like this in her life.
घराच्या पणांक आमकां खूब दूख दिसलें आनी आमकां चड भंय दिसलो. हल्ली फर्स्ट टायम आमच्या वांगडा जालां तें. फर्स्ट टायम आमी केन्ना आहलें पळोवंक नासलें आमचे कडेन जातलें म्हणून.
Dishant Parab and Shyam Sundar Fatte for Prudent.
Tremors continue to shake Nepal on Monday. More than 3,700 have died in the earthquake in Nepal. The death toll is expected to rise further. Around 6,500 are injured and rain has made the things worse for survivors. Around 2,500 Indians are rescued and brought back to India. 72 have died in India. Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal have reported deaths. Around 250 are injured.
Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh said that India is closely monitoring the situation in Nepal and will not leave any stone unturned in helping them.
भारतीय सेना ने एक इंजीनियरिंग टास्क फोर्स और 18 चिकित्सा दल काठमांडू में नियुक्त कर दिए हैं। 22 टन खाद्य सामग्री और राशन पैकेट, 50 टन मिनरल पानी, 2 टन दवाइयां और चिकित्सा उपकरण, 1400 कंबल और 40 तंबू नेपाल भेजे जा चुके हैं। थल सेना, वायुसेना और स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय के कई दल भी चिकित्सकीय सहायता के लिए नेपाल भेजे गए हैं। ये सभी दल दवाइयों, स्ट्रेचर, बिस्तर आदि से लैस हैं।
We've had from 4 different points road transport, buses and trucks which are going from India to Nepal. Some buses which had left from Janakpur actually managed to reach Kathmandu. Then we had buses moving on the Sonauli Bhairava checkpoint. When we had last checked, 67 of those buses had left, another 30 odd, roughly about 100 buses would be leaving that place.
With Bureau Inputs, Dishanpur for Prudent.
Goa needs to get compensation of at least $1 billion from the United Nations for declaring Western Ghats as biodiversity hotspot. Advocate General of Goa Atmaram Nadkarni has said that Government of Goa will petition Union of India to claim the compensation from the UN. As per the international rule, UN should give compensation to a state where biodiversity hotspots are demarcated, as development takes a backseat in these areas.
And every Goan must pay attention and do whatever he can. For example, this is the hottest hotspot of biodiversity of United Nations. I have given opinion to the state government that please file a suit against Union of India and get compensation. Because of that particular thing, it is declared as wildlife sanctuary. So 1 kilometer there is a prohibition for people not to do business and all. As per United Nations Biodiversity Convention, we are required to be compensated. And this compensation money comes from countries like America, Canada, UK and all that, because they survive because of this hotspot biodiversity. Our Western Ghats is supporting them. The damage which they do to the environment is all, assimilated by our Western Ghats and protecting them. So we are entitled for compensation.
Who should pay us compensation? It is
the Union of India
has to receive anything to be
done outside the country.
Correct.
The state can't do it.
Correct.
So it has to be done from the United Nations. Money has to come to the Union of India, and the Union of India has to pay us that money. So to ask from United Nations, Government of Goa cannot ask.
Correct.
So Government of Goa has to ask with Union of India. If Union of India doesn't pay, we have to file a suit in the Supreme Court and make Union of India ask that money and get it back.
This is a completely new topic for everybody. What is the likely amount of compensation? $1 billion?
Enough for the whole Goa to survive and make do. And those people who are suffering in those buffer zone areas, etc., coastal areas and all,
This is the kind of amount we are looking at. If United Nations compensate us.
Obviously, when United Nations comes in, it is, and America comes in, it's always billions of dollars.
It's time for a short break. Stay tuned.